found these Bapestas in the thrift. It's really funny. I was just looking at Bapestas last night, and they're my size, and they're $10. And as far as I can tell, they're legit. Everything looks right. A little size tag down in there. I'll take it off so you guys can see. Yeah, but stitching looks good. Everything looks good. So it's a good come up. Probably like $150, $100 shoes or so in the condition they're in. So I'm stoked. I'm gonna keep them. Super cool, all over print, like a cat coat. It's $2 today, so I'm gonna grab this. Yo, what is up everybody? It's Jackson with Loveless Vintage. This video is going to be a little bit different than what I normally do. I did have some thrift content beforehand of me finding some Bapestas, which is really sick. It's a great find to kind of round out the end of the year, and I'm going to be keeping them for myself, so it's kind of like a present to myself. But this video is going to be more of how I got verified on Depop recently, which I'm super excited about. Is one of my main goals for this year. I didn't even think I'd be able to achieve it this year, so it's just crazy to me. And it's kind of crazy to me like where I am at my life right now at the end of 2019. So I kind of wanted to make this video for myself too, just to like look back on maybe next year, compare where I'm at then. I'm just gonna kind of go over my goals that I had for this year, and then also talk about how I got verified on Depop and give you guys some advice if you guys are pursuing getting verified on Depop or just selling more on Depop or getting into reselling or thrifting or anything. I'm just gonna kind of go through my whole journey as to how I got where I am now and my goals for next year, so that I can look back on this video next year and be like, oh damn, like I'm way up or maybe I'm way down. We'll see where it takes me, but I'm really excited to do this kind of thing and let you guys know a little bit more about how I got into this and where I come from within the realm of like vintage clothing and my passion behind it and everything. So how I got into vintage is when I was like 17, I was very interested in like older OG, as I used to call them. It wasn't vintage back then for me, it was OG, like band shirts. I was a like hardcore punk kid, like a metal kid, and I was really into the original shirts, so the ones from like the 80s and the 90s. And so when I was about 17, one of my favorite bands was this band called Thrift. They're a California hardcore band, and I really wanted an original, not vintage. Back then I wasn't calling shirts vintage, I was calling them OG, like original. So I wanted an original Thrift shirt. So I went on eBay and I found a lot of 2 Thrift shirts. One was a long sleeve, one was a short sleeve shirt, and I think I paid like $40 for both of them. And that was my first experience ever buying like an original shirt. I think maybe prior to that, I had like an original like AFI shirt that I found at a thrift, but I didn't really like know that it held value or anything like that. Going back a little bit farther, I didn't really grow up thrifting. I probably got into thrifting really heavily when I was about like 15 or 16. And the reason being is because no one in my family really thrifts. Like my parents don't go to thrift stores. They never had any experiences going to thrift stores. It wasn't until like my friends like started going to thrift stores or wanted to go to thrift stores that my parents would be okay taking me. They had just like weird preconceived notions about them, that they're like dirty clothes and stuff. I don't know. Their viewpoint has really changed now that they see that it's making me money and that it's a passion that I have for these types of clothes. But it's really funny. My mom used to like drop me off at like a thrift store and like wouldn't even want to come in. And it was just the stigma they had behind it was really funny. So I got into thrifting maybe when I was like 15, 16, and started going like on my weekends or whenever I had time off from like working my part-time job or whatever. And then hand in hand with that, I worked clothing, I worked retail as my background. I worked at Banana Republic and I worked at J. Crew. I was a manager at J. Crew. So I was always really into clothes and like fashion and stuff. And then it just kind of intertwined with like me being into hardcore metal music and wanting like original like vintage shirts from that era. So I started to collect them and get really big into doing the research behind them and like knowing all the tags and like the years and like the blanks and everything. So it's already kind of ingrained in me when I started getting into like reselling. I already knew a lot about it. That's kind of like my background on where I come from with getting into thrifting and then vintage clothes. So I worked a full-time job for about 4 years at a vegan food company. I'm vegan, so I wanted to work at a vegan food company because I thought it aligned with my morals and values, as does thrifting and like recycling clothes. So it's really cool that I can transition from one career path to another that still does a lot of good in the area that I'm looking to, better the world in. A lot of stuff was happening at my full-time job and I just wasn't happy. So I got let go, and then they wanted me to come back after I got off of tour with my band, and I decided not to. I decided to take some time off, and I didn't really know what I was gonna do. And I just started selling clothes on Depop in my free time to get extra money. I already had a Depop account, and I had sold like band shirts on it like a few years ago. So I already had the account. I already had like maybe 100 sales just off band shirts and stuff. I decided like, why don't I try to do it full time? I started watching a ton of people on YouTube doing it. Like shout out to Paul Cantu, Connor Thrifts, Chase After the Right Price. Like all those channels were really consistent people that I was watching. Paul Cantu is obviously more clothing based. Chase After the Right Price is like video games and garage sale stuff. And then Connor Thrifts is clothing and stuff like that. So shout out to all them. They're part of the reason like I know a lot about what I know, and I decided to just go for it because I see them doing it and I knew I could. So I started taking Depop seriously at the end of June, and at the end of June going into July I had 500 followers. Flash forward, I have 7,080 followers at the time of me filming this video. So that's a crazy growth in like 6 months. And what really gave me the push to know I could do this full time is in August, I became a suggested seller in Depop. So they have little suggested seller categories that you can get into. And they contacted me and said that they recognized I was doing really well and they wanted to put me in there. And while I was in the suggested seller category for about 2 weeks, I gained like 2,000 followers. I had a ton of sales, like $1,000+ a week. So that was crazy, and that really gave me the push that I needed. So my advice to anyone that would want to do well on Depop, do well in reselling, is just honestly to stay committed and consistent to it. If you are pursuing Depop, my advice would be to have at least like 100 items in your store at all times. Be refreshing your items daily, twice. If you don't know what that is, you go in and edit your item and just essentially refresh it. You just edit the item and then accept it again, so it will move it to the top of the search queue. Another piece of advice that I would have with anyone trying to resell is always try to buy low. I still see people that make thrift content, or people I know personally, buy shirts for like $5 or $6 and sell them for like 15 or 20. To me, there's just like not that much profit doing that. So my advice is try to go to thrifts on sales days, try to get shirts for like 50 cents, $1, like at most like $3, and flip them for like 15, $20. Small sales like that really add up and they really count. I wouldn't say that I got successful on Depop doing big sales. I've probably only had a handful of over $100 sales, and I'm getting them more consistently now, which is really nice. But honestly, most of my sales are in the like $15 to like $30 range, and that's fine because they add up. And once you're hitting your $2,500 sales goal a month on Depop, after 4 months, you'll get verified. So all the small sales add up, and I would really encourage you guys to make those small sales, invest low and sell high, Also, I have sticky notes, all my notes. Also, posting daily, being active daily, messaging people back immediately, confirming sales when someone buys something from you, saying like, hey, it'll ship out this day or whatever, being really consistent with your dates that you ship on. So if you ship twice a week, 3 times a week, like every day, like make sure you let people know that, maybe have it in your bio. Be friendly. Like Depop is kind of an annoying place sometimes. People lowball you, people can be rude. Just like know that there's more good people on the app than there are bad. There's more people out there that want to buy things from you than like scam you. So just be friendly. Be accepting of offers. If you're gonna put a shirt up for like $50 and you're never gonna accept less than $50, you're not gonna make as many sales. What I do is I'll always price something like a little bit more than what I would wanna sell it for certain items. And then I'm always gonna be accepting of offers. Even for stuff I put up for like $20, if someone's like, would you do 15 shipped? I'm normally like, yeah. So just be accepting of offers. That's gonna get you more sales. And yeah, honestly, it's crazy. Like I was saying before, my amount of followers has exploded since being a suggested seller. My original end of the year goal was 3,000 followers. Now I met that in August. So then I moved it up to 5,000 followers, and then 6,000 and 6.5K. And then my end of the year goal was 7,000, and I just hit it on Christmas Day. I got 7,000 followers. Also YouTube, my YouTube has been growing. I've been only doing it over like 2 months, and I almost have 400 subs. My goal for the end of the year was 100 subs, and then it was 200 subs, and then it was 250, and then 300, and now it's 400. I currently have 386 at the filming of this video. So I'm really hoping to hit the 400 by the end of the year. If you guys are watching the video and you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. I checked out my video analytics the other day, and only 33% of people that watch my videos are subscribed, meaning 66% of people that are watching my thrift videos, watching this video, aren't subscribed. So please subscribe. It would really, really help me. Drop a like on the video, drop a comment, follow my Depop. I have really badass clothes on there. I'm planning on doing this full time. I'm investing in getting a space to do this. I want to do pop-ups next year. I want to go travel. I want to travel around and go to different bins and maybe like visit a rag house and get in at one of those. Like, I have big plans to be doing this full time, so I'm really trying to blow it up. My goal on Depop next year is to have 10,000 subs. I think that I can do that by March. So my realistic like overall goal would be to have 15,000 followers on Depop. And my goal for YouTube next year would be to have 1,000 subs. That would be awesome. That'd be really sick. And my Instagram goal would be to have 1,000 followers. That would also be really sick. I just want to thank you guys so much. If you watch any of the videos, if you watch this video, I don't know how long it's gonna be. I'm really sorry if I'm rambling. I just am really excited about the progress I've made, and I really want to thank you guys so much for watching, supporting, buying anything from me. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to do something like this, you totally can. If you have any questions, message me on Depop, on Instagram. I'm there to help you. I'm really excited for what the next year brings. So thank you guys again so much, and peace out.
Also, something I want to do in the new year is start doing like my personal collection. I rarely have posted anything from my personal collection on my Instagram or on YouTube, except for like my craziest thrift finds, but a lot of the stuff that is in my personal collection, I haven't thrifted, I've bought it outright. So comment below what you guys want to see. I have a ton of band tees. I got a ton of movie tees, horror related stuff. I have like a decent Crow collection. I probably have like at least 20 pieces of Crow memorabilia. So I'm in my closet right now. All of these shirts are vintage or OG. It's kind of out of hand. Oh God, up here is a lot of stuff I haven't even worn yet. So yeah, comment below. I'll probably do my first one in January, depending on what you guys would want to see, but I'm thinking my like movie, TV kind of promo tees. So yeah, let me know.